5 real deep web horror stories that broke the internet part 2. The silence that followed the whisper lasted for what felt like an eternity. I did not move. I did not breathe. I sat in the pitch darkness of my bedroom, every muscle in my body locked in absolute terror. The copper smell hung thick in the air, heavy and wet. My heart was pounding so hard in my chest that my ribs hurt. I waited for the cold hands to touch my neck. I waited for the skinless face to press against mine, but nothing happened. After 10 excruciating minutes, the desk lamp gave a sudden, sharp pop. Warm light flooded the room again. I gasped, pulling air deep into my lungs like a drowning survivor reaching the surface. My eyes darted frantically around the room. The closet door was closed. The dark corner was empty. The Polaroid photograph that had been lying in the center of my carpet was gone. In its place was only a dark, wet ring on the rug, a circle of moisture that smelled faintly of old river water. I looked at my laptop screen. The lid was still tilted down, but the display was active. My text editor was open. A single line of text had been typed at the bottom of the document. The letters were appearing one by one, right before my eyes, as if an invisible hand were pressing the keys. Text on screen, 5 more. Finish the archive or the door stays locked. I jumped out of my chair and lunged for the bedroom door. I grabbed the brass handle and twisted it with all my strength. It would not budge. The metal felt ice cold, like solid iron frozen in a block of ice. I threw my shoulder against the wood. The door did not give a single millimeter. It felt like I was slamming my body against solid rock. I was trapped. I turned back to face the room. The air felt tight. My lungs felt constricted. My mind was racing, trying to find a logical thread to pull on. This is a breakdown, a severe, stress-induced psychotic break. My brain is manufacturing these physical sensations because I am exhausted, but the coldness of the door handle had been real. The smell of copper was still clinging to the back of my tongue. I slowly walked back to the desk. My hands were cold and slick with sweat. I sat down in the chair. If I wanted to survive whatever was happening in this room, I had to keep typing. I had to document the remaining 5 stories. I opened my browser with trembling fingers and began to dig through the oldest archives of the web once again. Story 1, Candle Cove. Origin, Netlore by Chris Straub, 2009. The first record I pull up comes from an archived forum thread from 2009. It was written by a user named Rubbersoul on a site dedicated to forgotten television nostalgia. The thread started with a simple, harmless question. Does anyone remember a weird kids show from the early 70s called Candle Cove? Rubbersoul described vague childhood memories of a low-budget marionette show about pirates. He remembered the main character, a young boy named Pirate Percy, who was incredibly timid and easily frightened. His ship was named the Laughing Stock, a sentient wooden vessel with a creepy, smiling face carved into the bow that spoke in a dry, grating voice. Soon, other users joined the thread. A user named Skaggs replied, confirming the memory. He remembered a villain named the Skin Taker. The Skin Taker was a terrifying skeleton puppet wearing a top hat and a brown cape. His clothes were explicitly made from the tanned hides of children. His lower jaw did not unhinge vertically like a normal puppet. Instead, it moved side to side, grinding wooden teeth together whenever he spoke to the camera. The thread grew longer as more users shared hyperspecific details. They remembered an entire episode known simply as the Screaming Episode. In this episode, there was no plot. There were no dialogue lines. For 20 straight minutes, every marionette on screen simply stood in place, staring directly into the camera lens, and screamed at the top of their lungs while the background audio screeched with white noise. Then came the final post in the thread from user Netscott. He wrote that he had recently visited his elderly mother in a nursing home and asked her if she remembered him watching Candle Cove back in 1972. His mother looked at him with confusion. She told him that whenever Candle Cove came on the television, her 7-year-old son would sit on the living room floor in front of a TV screen that was tuned to pure, static noise for 30 minutes straight. He sat there completely still, staring at the static, listening to a show that did not exist. I stop reading. My throat feels dry like sandpaper. As soon as I finish the sentence, the audio on my computer speakers cuts out with a sharp, violent crackle. The screen flickers. The browser window minimizes itself, and the entire desktop fills with high-contrast snow. White noise fills my bedroom. It is loud, harsh, and static. I reach out to turn down the volume knob on my speakers. The dial turns, but the noise does not stop. It gets louder. The static is coming from inside my head. Then, buried underneath the hiss of the white noise, I hear a faint, high-pitched screeching. It sounds like wooden jaws grinding together, side to side. Click, click, click. I cover my ears with my hands, but the sound does not fade. It is coming from the far side of my room near the window. I slowly turn my head to look at the glass. Outside, the night sky is completely black. No stars, no moon, but pressed flat against the second-story glass of my window is a face. It is a face made of pale, painted wood. Its mouth is open, and its jaw is sliding laterally, back and forth, dragging against the glass with a wet, squeaking sound. I press my back against the chair, squeezing my eyes shut. I count backward from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I open my eyes. The window is clear. There is nothing outside except the dark branches of the oak tree. I am hallucinating. My mind is projecting these images directly onto my optic nerves. It is sensory overload. I take a deep breath and wipe the cold sweat from my forehead. I need to keep going. I need to type the next case. Story 2, 1999. Origin, Creepypasta by Camden Lamont, 2009. The second case is a sprawling, deeply disturbing investigation, originally posted on a personal blog by a Canadian man named Camden Lamont in 2009. It centers on a local public access television station in Caledon, Ontario, during the late 90s. In 1999, Camden was a young boy who stumbled upon a rogue, low-power TV channel broadcasting on Channel 21. The programming was unnerving, cheap, and deeply homemade. The flagship show was called Mr. Bear's Cellar. It featured a man wearing a crude, padded bear costume with small, dark human eyes visible through the holes in the suit's mask. Mr. Bear sat in a dark, concrete cellar, talking directly to the children watching at home. He invited them to write letters to him and mail them to a specific post office box in the woods. He promised that if they sent their home addresses, he would come visit them at night and play games in his cellar. As Camden dug deeper into his childhood memories years later, he managed to recover recorded VHS tapes of Channel 21. The tapes revealed increasingly sinister shows. One show was called Booby, which featured a hand puppet making sharp, repetitive cutting motions toward the camera. Another episode showed Mr. Bear walking through a dark forest at night, holding a rusty shovel, talking about building a furnace deep underground. Camden eventually contacted local authorities and investigated the address attached to the post office box. What he discovered was horrific. Police records from the early 2000s confirmed that an unidentified man had built a hidden underground cellar in the woods near Caledon. Inside the cellar, investigators found a makeshift incinerator, children's clothes, and burnt bone fragments. The man in the bear suit had been luring young local children to his cabin for months using public access television before burning the evidence in his pit. He was never caught. I feel a heavy, suffocating pressure in my chest. A sudden scent fills my small bedroom. It overrides the faint smell of copper. It is the sharp, acrid smell of burning pine wood. It smells like a bonfire, but underneath the wood smoke there is a sickening, sweet stench. The smell of scorched hair and burning organic matter. My nose begins to burn. I cough, shielding my face with my shirt. Then my cell phone vibrates on the wooden desk next to my keyboard. The screen lights up. It is a text message from a local phone number, a number I do not recognize. Unknown, I am in the cellar now. Are you coming down to play? I stare at the blue screen of my phone. My hands are trembling so violently I can barely hold the device. I type a reply, my fingers fumbling across the glass keys. Me, who is this? Stop texting me. The response arrives within 2 seconds. Unknown, open the closet door. I brought the scissors. I slowly turn my head toward my bedroom closet. The door had been closed tightly just a few moments ago, but now it is standing open by 3 inches, a dark, rectangular gap in the wall. From inside the darkness of the closet, I hear a sharp metallic sound. Snip, snip, snip. It is the sound of heavy metal blades opening and closing in the dark. I reach out with my foot and kick the closet door shut with a loud wooden slam. The noise echoes through the quiet house. My heart is pounding against my throat. I wrap my arms around my chest, rocking slightly in my chair. This cannot be happening. Hardware does not manifest physical entities out of text files. It is impossible. I am suffering from severe sensory breakdown. My mind is projecting my worst fears into my physical environment. I just need to finish this document. 3 more. Only 3 more. Story 3. My dead girlfriend keeps messaging me. Origin, Reddit r/nosleep by Nathan, 2014. I turn my focus back to the monitor. The third case is a heartbreaking and terrifying real-time chronicle posted on Reddit in 2014 by a user named Nathan. Nathan's girlfriend, Emily, had died tragically in a multi-car accident on August 7, 2012. Her social media accounts were left untouched as digital memorials for her grieving friends and family. But 13 months after her death, Emily's Facebook profile suddenly came back online. She started sending private messages to Nathan. At first, the messages were brief, fragmented, recycled phrases from their old chat histories. Nathan assumed it was a cruel prank by one of Emily's friends who had somehow cracked her password. He reached out to her family, but they were just as baffled and hurt as he was. Then, the nature of the messages shifted. The entity controlling the profile began typing brand new messages, using Emily's specific spelling mistakes and private nicknames. It started sending messages describing coldness. Emily, my legs are cold, Nath. Emily, it is so dark down here. The horror escalated when the profile began tagging itself in photos uploaded to Nathan's personal page. It did not tag itself on random faces. It tagged itself in empty spaces, in the dark background of Nathan's living room, behind his shoulder in a kitchen photo, in the pitch-black hallway behind his open bedroom door. The final update to the story contained a screenshot that shocked the entire internet. The profile sent Nathan a photograph taken from inside his own apartment. The photo showed the back of Nathan's head as he sat at his desk, taken from the dark hallway behind him. The message attached to the photo contained a single sentence. Emily, why won't you turn around? I stare at the screen, my breath catching in my throat. My phone buzzes on the desk. Not a text notification. A photo message. I do not want to look at it. Every instinct in my body is screaming at me to throw the phone across the room, to smash it against the wall, to destroy it. But my hand moves on its own. I pick up the phone and swipe the screen open. The text message is from my own phone number. I open the attachment. It is a photograph. The photo is taken from a low angle right behind my desk chair. It shows my back, my hunched shoulders, my pale neck under the yellow light of the desk lamp. and directly behind my chair, two bare, grayish feet are resting on the carpet. The toes are bruised, blue, and filthy with damp earth. I instantly spin around in my chair, throwing my arms up to defend myself. The space behind my chair is completely empty. The yellow carpet is clear. I fall out of the chair, landing hard on my hands and knees. My elbows sting from the impact. I crawl backward until my spine hits the cold baseboard of the wall under my desk. I am hyperventilating. Cold sweat is pouring down my cheeks, dripping off my chin onto my shirt. There is no one here. There is no one in this room. My eyes are deceiving me. The phone screen deceived me. Digital images can be manipulated. Network packets can be intercepted and altered by malicious software. Someone has hacked my network. Someone is playing a complex psychological prank on me from outside the house. That is the rational explanation. It has to be. Story 4, Psychosis. Origin, creepypasta by Matt Dymersky, 2010. I crawl back onto the chair, my limbs feeling heavy and unresponsive, like lead weights. My hands are shaking so badly that my fingers keep slipping off the home row of the keyboard. I take 5 slow, deliberate breaths. I force my eyes to concentrate on the glowing screen. The 4th case is a classic study in extreme paranoia, written by Matt Dymersky in 2010. The story follows a computer programmer named John who locks himself in his apartment to work on an intense project. As the days pass in total isolation, John begins to suspect that the world outside his front door has subtly ceased to exist. He begins to notice tiny inconsistencies in his environment. The sunlight coming through his window feels flat, lacking true warmth. The sounds of traffic outside repeat on an exact, artificial loop every 4 minutes. When he talks to his friends and family on the phone, their voices sound slightly synthesized, as if an advanced intelligence is analyzing his expectations and generating appropriate responses in real time. John becomes convinced that an unknown entity has wiped out humanity and replaced the physical universe with a simulated illusion to keep him calm inside his room. To protect himself, he seals his door with heavy duct tape. He covers his windows with thick black trash bags. He cuts his phone lines, smashes his router, and destroys his computer monitors. He sits in absolute darkness, determined to starve the entity of sensory data. But in the story's brutal climax, John realizes his ultimate mistake. The entity did not alter the outside world. It had infected his central nervous system. It had taken control of his optic nerves, his auditory canals, and his tactile receptors days ago. Every sound he heard, every sight he saw, and every surface he touched was being fed directly into his mind by a parasite resting on his brain stem. He had never been in his apartment. He had been trapped inside his own dying body the entire time. I stopped typing. I looked down at my hands on the keyboard. I press my right index finger against the plastic surface of the letter J key. The plastic does not feel hard. It feels soft, squishy, like cold, wet skin. I pull my finger back instantly. I stare at the keyboard. The keys look completely normal. Black plastic buttons with printed white letters. But when I touch them, my brain receives the sensory signal of pressing into raw, damp tissue. I press my hand against the wooden desktop. It feels spongy. It gives under my palm like wet foam. I pause. My entire body goes rigid. Am I sitting in my room? I look at the walls. The yellow wallpaper with its subtle floral pattern. Is it wallpaper? Or is it a visual memory my brain is generating to fill the blank void of my failing sight? I reach out and press my knuckles against the wall behind my desk. The surface feels cold, smooth, and slightly sticky, like rubber. I close my eyes tightly. A terrifying realization washes over me, heavy and cold. I cannot trust my eyes. I cannot trust my ears. I cannot trust the feeling of the floor beneath my feet. Everything I have experienced tonight, the sounds, the text messages, the cold draft, the smells, could be manufactured sensory feedback. I might not even be sitting in my chair. I could be lying on the floor of a dark room, my mind completely unraveling as an unknown entity feeds me terrifying stories through a broken neural pathway. I am losing my grip on physical reality. The edges of my perception are fraying, turning into digital noise and static. I open my eyes. The room is still here, but it feels fragile, like a thin sheet of wet paper stretched over a deep abyss. I have one story left, one final archive to complete before this illusion completely collapses. Story 5, Known House. Origin, Creepypasta by Brian Russell, 2011. My fingers move across the squishy, skin-like keys of my board. I do not look down at my hands anymore. I keep my eyes glued to the monitor. The fifth and final story is the legendary masterpiece written by Brian Russell in 2011, known across the web as Known House. The story begins with a young man named David who accepts a $10,000 challenge from a friend. The task seems simple. He must walk through all 9 rooms of a popular local haunted attraction called the Known House. David arrives at the house, located on a quiet suburban street. The first 3 rooms are disappointing. They feature basic Halloween props, plastic cobwebs, mechanical skeletons, and canned sound effects. David laughs at the simplicity of the challenge and continues forward. But room 4 marks a terrifying shift. The 4th room is pitch black, dead silent, and cold. As David steps across the threshold, an intense, crushing sense of psychological dread settles over him. The air feels heavy, making it difficult to breathe. He begins to feel an irrational, primal terror that tells him he does not belong in this space. In room 5, the house begins to actively manipulate his mind. He encounters horrific, otherworldly entities that distort his perception of time and memory. Room 6 is an exact, flawless recreation of his own childhood home, but the figures inside, his parents and his pet, are hollow, monstrous caricatures that mock his sense of safety. David desperately pushes forward, passing through rooms 7 and 8, where the physical laws of geometry, light, and space completely disintegrate. The walls are made of dark, pulsing matter. The doorways lead to infinite abysses. Finally, after enduring unimaginable psychological torture, David reaches room 9. He manages to locate the final exit door and steps out onto the sunny, familiar streets of his hometown. He walks back to his apartment, relieved that the nightmare is over. He picks up his life, living normally for days, believing he has won the challenge. Then one evening, David walks into his own bedroom. He looks down at his hardwood floor. Carved into the center of his rug is a small brass plaque. The plaque reads, Room 9. He never left the house. The entire return to his normal life was simply another layer of the illusion designed to break his spirit completely. He is trapped inside the house forever. I finish typing the final sentence. I sit back in my chair. My chest is heaving. I have completed the list. 5 stories, 10 stories total across both archives. The task is finished. I wait for the lock on my bedroom door to click. I wait for the cold, unnatural air to lift from the room. I wait for the copper smell to fade away. Nothing changes. The room remains dead silent. The air stays cold, thick, and suffocating. I slowly stand up from my desk. I walk across the carpet toward my bedroom door. My legs feel like hollow tubes of glass, ready to shatter with every step. I reach out my hand and grab the brass handle. I turn it. Click. The deadbolt retracts. The door swings open silently, revealing the hallway outside. I let out a long, shuddering breath. Relief floods through my veins like warm water. It is over. The door is unlocked. I can leave this room. I can walk downstairs, go outside into the fresh night air, and leave this nightmare behind me forever. I step through the doorway into the hallway. I take 3 steps forward in the dim amber light. Then I freeze. I look around me. The hallway is not 12 feet long anymore. It is small, rectangular. I am standing inside a bedroom. I look to my left. There is a dark wooden desk. On the desk sits a glowing laptop, casting a pale blue light across the yellow wallpaper. On the floor in front of the desk is a yellow carpet with a dark, wet ring near the center. I turn around quickly, lunging back through the door frame I just walked through. I step into the adjacent space. It is the exact same bedroom. The same desk, the same glowing monitor, the same pale yellow wallpaper. I run to the window. I look out through the glass. There is no yard. There is no oak tree. Outside the window is another bedroom. An endless, repeating line of identical illuminated rooms stretching out into the dark infinity in every direction. I back away from the glass, my mind completely shattering into sharp, disconnected pieces. I fall to my knees in the middle of the room. My hands press into the carpet. The carpet is soft, wet, cold. I look down between my hands. Sitting on the rug directly beneath my face is a small, tarnished brass plaque screwed into the floorboards. I wipe away the damp grime, covering the metal surface with my thumb. The engraved letters on the brass plaque are sharp and deep. Plaque Room 10. I look up. The laptop on the desk is typing by itself again. The blue light from the screen flickers violently, casting jagged shadows across the walls. The keys are clicking rapidly, echoing through the small, looping box of my reality. Click, click, click. I crawl over to the desk, pull myself up by the edge of the wood, and look down at the display. The document is scrolling down automatically. New text is appearing at the bottom of the page, line by line, fast and relentless. Screen text. The narrator realized he was never compiling stories from the web. The stories were compiling him. Every paragraph typed was a brick in the wall. Every word read was a nail in the floor. I press my hands against my head, screaming into the quiet room. My voice sounds flat, muffled, and distant, like it is bouncing off thick, padded walls. The laptop screen flashes red. A final line of text appears in massive, jagged font across the center of the display. Screen text, "Welcome home."